Auto sequence start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello there. Welcome, my fellow mind-altering enthusiasts, to another installment of Canned Conversations. My name's Steven, and with me, as always, is my good friend Andrew.
Hello.
That's weird. Oh, yeah. So today is the lovely April 20th, otherwise known as 420. So, while not a real holiday, it is one that's celebrated nonetheless by smokers, tokers, and those who consume the infused edibles across the world. We are celebrating live for those of you on YouTube today. So welcome. Appreciate you. So, Mr. Andrew, talk to me. What do you think about the 420 world?
I love it. We are live, and it is 420. Yo.
So you were pretty excited about this one, weren't you?
Yes, in fact, I got something special for the occasion. Oh. I'm going to try to put it on here.
Oh, no.
You know, I mean, when it's the holiday, you got to celebrate right. I hope this fits.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh. Is this the first time you've tried this on? You got to pull the front down because I can't see the leaf very well.
All right.
I want it right almost over the eyes, homie.
How's that looking?
Perfect.
Bro.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, man.
All right. So I don't know if people got what the theme of this one's going to be, but since it's April 20th, we're doing 420 stuff. So buckle up for some marijuana references.
Yeah, it's 420. You know, tax day is behind us. Hopefully you got those taken care of and you got a refund and you went to your nearest dealer and you got scored yourself a bag of some Sticky Icky, right?
Maybe the skunk weed.
We celebrate because it is beer's close cousin. Did you know that beer hops are in the same family as hemp?
I did not.
And cannabis.
So we've been basically drinking a cousin of marijuana this whole time.
We
have a marijuana-based, a cousin of marijuana-based show.
Exactly.
Cool.
So we are live. And we thank those people who have joined us here. We have the chat going. We've added a new little feature to our window, which I said I was going to work on, and that is you can see the chats now in the window, hopefully, as they go by. That will help on two fronts. One, if you just want to see that big screen and not have the chat window next to it. And then two, on replay, now I can cut that first 20 minutes off. That is we're coming soon. And so you can see all the chat on replay for those who aren't being able to join us live.
We're evolving much like the marijuana laws of the country.
Exactly.
So, love it. Beautiful.
All right. So while we are discussing all things 420 today, we are more known for enjoying Mary Jane's close cousin, as I pointed out. One of us brings a new, unique, or rare canned beverage to try. And while we ingest its libations, we dissect and discuss all matter of life's most important and interesting topics. Later in the show, we will review and rate the canned beverage and let you know if you should try it while attending your local 2-car quarter-mile see who can get to the finish line faster races.
Okay.
I said it that way because apparently you can't say drag races anymore. I don't know. It's a thing.
Would I get you canceled?
Seriously? Something like that.
All right, great.
All right.
Another thing.
All right. So let's do this and bring out the beer.
Cool.
Hey,
Roll down your window.
what? Keep on knocking, but you can't come in.
Hey, man, don't man. The cops, man.
Wait, I gotta roll down the window, man. There you go. Where's the anchor? How much did it weigh? I don't know. I forgot. You forgot? I saw that on the movie. I gotta get the
Can I see your license, sir?
What?
Your license. Where's your license?
It's on the bumper, man, back there, man.
No, I mean your driver's license.
My favorite line.
Oh yeah, I got my driver's license, man.
Oh.
That just sounded so real funny, man. Hey, your mama.
We got some reggae on the jam.
Yeah, I dig it. Well,
I try. Does this speak 420 to you?
yeah, there's nothing more 420 than Cheech and Chong up in smoke.
All right, I love it. You got it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes of that little scene of him going, "You have a license?" And he goes, "Isn't it on the bumper?" And he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Isn't it on the license?"
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Love it. We used to quote that all the time.
Right.
I watched that with my cousin when I was like real young.
Yes.
And
One of the.
he thought it was the funniest thing ever.
I think it was their best
Yeah.
film of that genre, if you will, of smoke and toke movie. But yeah,
a great
one of my favorite scenes out of that. And just before that, when Cheech is taking all, he's like, "Oh, here, take this to calm you down," and then no, Chong says that to Cheech, and then he gives him something, and he goes, "Oh, wait a minute, don't take that, man." And he's, "What?" And he goes like, "You just take the best acid I've ever seen anybody."
I thought it was the best when they had the dog ate their pot. And they're like, "What are you smoking?" He's like, "Labrador," because they had to wait for it to come anyway. So that's a great movie.
Today's can is brought to you by Hemp Gose Ale. Hemp Gose Ale. If I'm saying that incorrectly, somebody in the
I
chat
thought it was
can.
Gose.
That's a type of beer, so it could be Gose. I've seen with the little thing. So it is called Goodwood. So that's great. Great name.
Yeah.
I got Goodwood in my hand, made in Louisville,
Wow.
Kentucky. It is a Gose Ale made with coriander, lemon peel, and hemp seed.
Yep.
And hemp being in this is the tie in there. We're going to drink some hemp beer.
5.2% alcohol by volume, and it is 355 milliliters. For those of you who don't know how to do the calculations because you're not in Europe, it is 12 fluid ounces.
Thank you, my friend.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to try this. We've tried a beer before that was infused with hemp, and it's an interesting flavor. So I'm hoping that the nice people at Hemp Gose Ale have done it better.
Was that the beer that we did that never made air?
Right, the infamous episode that never aired.
Yeah. So that was a bad one.
All right. Well, today we're going to have fun with 420. We're going to celebrate, and we're going to have some fun with all things 420 and the lifestyle and the things that you grew up either hearing or participating in. Because maybe you were young once, maybe you're still doing this. Who knows? I don't judge. I don't care. Toke up.
Do whatever you want to do.
If you're toking up right now, probably make us more entertaining.
We actually encourage you to toke up to make this more entertaining.
So the first thing I want to do, and this is what we're going to do, is sort of play a game with Steven. All right. And I'm going to go through 420 fact or fiction.
Are people playing online?
Yeah,
too?
sure. I mean,
Good.
so if you're live
on the chat,
if you're live, I mean, feel free to say whether you think these things are fact or fiction. We're going to keep track of what Steven says. And, in the past, we've had to do weird jelly bellies. What I did is I procured these.
You didn't.
I procured these gummies.
You brought gummy bears.
Now, most of these are regular gummy bears, but the rest of them are infused with like 100 milligrams or the highest potency THC you can find on the market. So if he gets one wrong, he just has to stick his hand in there and then take a gummy and then see if he lasts till the end of the show.
Oh,
so
man.
You don't actually have to do that if you don't want to.
Oh, I'm taking some 100 milligram gummies. I can tell you that right now. We're opening the bag as we speak. Go.
All right. So let's start with the first one. 420 itself and the origin of 420. I don't know if you know where that came from, but I'm going to give you a statement and you're going to tell me whether it's fact or fiction.
Great.
420 originated in 1971 thanks to 5 Californian students attending San Rafael High School. Fact or fiction? If you want a little bit more information.
Do you have more information? Yeah, I would always love more context.
I do. The group was nicknamed the Waldos because they smoked cannabis against a wall. Their chosen smoking spot was by
what a great name.
It was by a statue of the 19th century scientist Louis Pasteur.
I'm going to go with maybe what the chat is going with and go with fact.
Yes, very good, chat.
Thanks, chat people.
That is fact.
I'm counting a 1.
So in 1971, these nice 5 lads at their school got wind of a particular Coast Guard service member that they heard about who could no longer tend to his plot of marijuana plants near on the peninsula near the Coast Guard station. So a treasure hunt was to be had, right? Because, I mean, 5 kids hear about some large thing of plants growing that nobody is tending to. They're going to go try to find it.
Yeah.
So they devised this secret code in which they used to indicate to each other that they would meet after school and smoke up beforehand.
Of course. You can't go on a treasure hunt for pot without being high.
Without toking up a bit.
Yep, agreed.
And that secret code was 420. It actually started as 420 Louis, because of the Louis Pasteur statue.
Okay.
But they since dropped the 420.
That's fun knowledge.
Yeah.
So, bunch of high school kids. I would have thought if you would have said, you said California, I was going to go, they had to be from Berkeley or it had to be from Colorado to start. But apparently, no. I like it. Start with high school kids.
So where do you think it spread from there? Because it obviously spread from these 5 young lads attending high school. How does that become the worldwide phenomenon that it is now?
Is that legitimate? Like I have to answer this?
You can take a guess.
I'm going to guess that stoners found friends at college and spread it at college.
Mostly the reason I was asking you to guess was because I thought, well, maybe you might have heard some of the fictional things that people used to also, people would go 420 and they go, hey, you know where that came from? And then they would say,
something nonsensical.
hey, in California, the code 420 for the police is that there's a smoker in progress, right?
Right.
That was spread as a potential thing.
Smoker in progress.
Right. So basically a few of these Waldo kids and their parents, they used to go to Grateful Dead shows, or they started to. And it sort of simmered there, and it grew in popularity amongst the Grateful Dead community while they were touring. And then Deadheads some of them came up with a story about this 420 being a police code, and that caught on like wildfire because it's anti-establishment against the man. So they started using 420 as a signal code to go smoke. And then in 1990 or so, High Times, the magazine dedicated to the proliferation of marijuana and hemp, published it, got a hold of it, published it, and started putting it on everything that they published and associating it, and then it just blew up from there.
I forgot about High Times. That would have been a good answer too. High Times was a big thing.
Yeah, I think I never had High Times, but I had friends that had them, and then in the back, it's like, buy seeds, we'll ship them to you. I'm like, how can that be legal? Like there was a lot of I feel like as young people, right, there was a lot of misnomers about marijuana and stuff, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So like things we've heard or things we may have experienced and go, is this fact or fiction? So let's start with one.
All right, hit me. I will not rely on the chat the entire time.
Are marijuana smokers more lazy and apathetic than your normal non-smoker?
I'm giving the chat time to process, although I'm not going to look at it.
This is all you, man.
So, yes.
You're saying it's fact.
I'm saying it's fact.
No, please. Your aficionados of the of the weed would be like, are you calling me lazy and apathetic?
Yes.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for them, no is the correct answer. The common stereotype of stoner, right? Think Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. There's the dude from The Big Lebowski. They're basically depicted in that stoner, or your favorite, The True Romance, Brad Pitt's character is about the most stoner person.
That is exactly what I was talking about, and that's fact.
A team led by scientists at UCLA, actually UCL, the University of Cambridge, and the Institute of Psychiatry, they did a study on whether cannabis users show higher levels of apathy, loss of motivation, and loss of interest or pleasure from rewards. And when they compared the controls, there was no significant difference. And cannabis users actually had more a heightened sense of they enjoyed life more, essentially, more than so. They not only did they, because they were testing whether they were.
I've done my own test on myself. And I know that I may enjoy life more, but it's because I've slowed everything down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which tells me I do less.
when you have done your own
Done
study.
my own scientific research.
Obviously scientific
Yep.
in nature. Okay. Next on the agenda, tell me, does the smell of marijuana follow you wherever you go?
So based on my recent trip to Dave and Buster's, yes. Those people who were smoking, it followed them all the way. Like you could find them anywhere in the place.
I'm going to give that one to you. You got that one. So just out of curiosity, because you mentioned at the top of the show that it's become more legal in a lot of places. Do you find that you're smelling?
Oh, I smell it all the time now.
Yeah.
I can smell it in the car in front of me, right? Like when you're driving on the highway, I can.
That's sad that somebody in a car, hopefully it's not the driver.
I watched a guy smoke a joint in the backseat of a car, in the backseat of a truck with a little slide window in the back, you know, and then get a Mountain Dew bottle and throw the rest of his roach in that thing and then throw it out the window. And I'm like, I smelled so much.
no.
Like there was so much pot coming into my car. It was crazy. So,
Do you yourself
everywhere.
like the smell of
No,
marijuana?
marijuana smells horrible. You think they could engineer a different smell for that? Which I think is probably why edibles and other things are probably a little bit more prevalent now, is that they don't have that same stink to them. It's just not a great. It's very distinct. You know it when you smell it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's great though. It's not like even nostalgic or anything.
Right on. I am with you in that, like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't go, oh man, I can't stand it. Like a skunk would, or something really bad. Or inside of a porta potty at a concert. I would rather smell the pot being smoked at a concert than the inside of a porta potty. But you know it as soon as you smell it. And here's the thing, it travels up to 82 feet.
Oh, I thought you were going to say miles, because I would have guessed miles.
It does. It seems to spread. And what's funny is I was reading it. My Google searches of the past couple of weeks. If there was a list of when this was illegal, but now that it's legal in most places, it probably doesn't matter. But it said the smoke itself dissolves within a matter of seconds, but the aromatic molecules travel far and wide, up to 82 feet.
One of our listeners says the official smell of New York, which means somebody every probably less than 82 feet is smoking it, right? Like at that point.
Yeah. But I agree with you. It's not the best smell, but it's not the worst smell. You simply know when you do smell it. Fact or fiction, patchouli oil covers up the smell good.
That is 100% fiction.
That is correct.
Because it doesn't cover it up and it is not good. There are two fictions in that one statement. Patchouli oil may be the worst smell on earth.
Why do people use patchouli oil?
I would love for somebody online to tell us why.
What's your guess?
Why do they?
Or what have you heard? Like,
Because
you
they-
knew people maybe that use
They
patchouli.
eat granola, hug trees, and smoke pot all day. That may appeal to you if you have that demographic or Venn diagram going on in your life. I don't know. It's a horrible smell.
Patchouli became pretty big in the hippie community. It's probably farther reaching than that, but if you asked a hippie, apparently, when these things were being written down, they said it does somewhat cover the smell of weed. So back, especially when it was illegal everywhere. Also, it's apparently prevents fungal growth.
Oh, geez.
Prevents infections and covers odors, which we already talked about.
Basically, since you don't shower and you don't take care of yourself, you just put patchouli oil on and it hopefully fixes everything.
You're stereotyping stoners again.
I am.
They don't shower, they don't bathe, or just hippies.
Okay. Are
you saying hippies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe those folks that are following around bands and they don't have a lot of access to showers because they're, vanning it from town to town. They put a little patchouli on, prevents fungal growth and infection. Patchouli oil is also known for its calming and libido enhancing effect. So
That also makes
if you're
sense.
a free loving hippie,
fits right in, doesn't
and
it?
you want to have some fun love and free love, then that fits right in.
You want fun love or free love, huh?
That's right. But love is never for free. You got to watch out for those diseases that can get spread.
Yeah.
Does holding a drag of marijuana in your lungs for a long time get you more high? So let me give you the right. You've ever seen this?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it on TV. And yes, no. I'm going to go with, I don't know what, I'm not looking at chat, but I'm going to go with yes.
No.
Damn it.
Sorry for all those people that were in my high school class or around me in high school and early college, and they would take those hits off something and they would hold it for as long as possible. Their faces would get red and, they would cough it out. That did nothing.
That helps you. That does not increase the amount absorbed into your bloodstream at all.
That is correct. A study found that the same dry herb used will have the exact same potency. So you don't get any higher. The THC in marijuana takes just a few seconds to absorb into your system.
So holding it for 5 more seconds doesn't get you more.
It actually makes it worse for you.
Because then you can't breathe?
Holding the smoke in will only make you cough more. And there are toxins that are released. They're not as bad as smoking, say, a cigarette. But when marijuana is burned, those toxins do get released. And holding your breath just means you're holding those toxins in your lungs longer. So next time, if you are one of those people that likes hitting off a pipe or taking drags off joints or marijuana cigarettes, as I think they're known.
I don't think anybody knows them as that. That's the oldest thing you've said.
Don't hold it in. You're going to get just as high letting it go.
So this is really tips and tricks episode as well, which is nice. It's an added benefit for those listening is don't hold it in. Just normal puff pass, move on. Like stop choking around on it.
Thank you. And the reason I wanted to bring these up is because when I started thinking about how do I celebrate 420 in this format,
you're like, it's best practices and tips and tricks.
But I wanted to go back in my mind and think of things I saw people doing in the mirror. I meant around me.
Yep.
When I was younger.
Yep.
And I go, did that really do anything? Because every single one of us that's ever tried smoking a joint held that thing in for.
I still do it with beer. Does it not help you with beer? I've been like,
hold it in your esophagus.
Yeah.
Hope the alcohol permeates.
It just absorbs in your esophagus
faster
before it gets to your stomach, and all the acid ruins it. All right, what's the next one?
All right, so don't hold in those puffs.
I'm 2 gummies
people.
in. I think I've hit 2 good ones so far.
Oh, good. All right. Does smoking a water pipe, aka bong, get you more high? Have you heard of this? I should be asking these. Have you heard of this?
Your assumptions are ridiculous here. For one, I have heard of the water bong. So I'm going to go with no. It's just a different vessel for the same, you do a one hitter or a joint or a blunt or a bong. It's all the same mechanism to get into you, smoke to get into your lungs. I don't think it makes a bit of difference. Yes, I'm going to give you the good answer on that. Because now it is no that you can't get higher scientifically with the same amount of ingestion. However, it is yes in that you may tend to smoke way bigger hits or take more hits. Okay.
Why might you take more hits off a water bong? You ever thought about it?
No.
You're like, just because it's cool, it makes that sound.
It bubbles.
Yeah. Right?
No, I have no idea why.
And you like to see, you watch the smoke go through the water.
There's more of a process, right? Like it's more
visual.
Yeah, it's a tactile response.
And they're all usually glass, right? Or most of them. So they come up in there and you see all that smoke and then you're like, whoa, that's a lot of smoke. Is that all going in my lungs? Right? Then you pull the pipe and boop, take it.
Is there something to, and I'm going to steal from chat, is there something to it being not as harsh as other mechanisms?
Yes, it's cooler. Oh. Bongs are a type of, they basically utilize water for filtration, aeration, and cooling. So unless you're putting, hot liquid in there, which is probably not. So the smoke is drawn through the water, which captures and removes the large contaminants like hot ash and some of those toxins we mentioned. But the hotness is really what is there. It immediately chills down what you're inhaling. So if you're taking off a joint, right, that hotness is going in. It's really, it can be more irritating to you. The cool smoke goes in and you don't feel a thing, baby.
Thanks to our active listeners for helping me with that one.
Yes, thank you.
Nice work.
And then, the newest things, which weren't around when we were kids, are the vapes.
Yeah.
And the dab pens.
Yeah.
Which are 2 different things, which I learned because I did want to know. I'm like, I hear dab pen and I hear vape. They're 2 different things, and I learned all about them. But
Is dab pen just oil, though? sorry,
yeah,
go-
it's the manner in which it
educate me.
ignites
Keep
it.
going. You're good.
But basically, I'm going to say that the vapes are the most healthy for inhaling, and also it's not hot because of the way that it ignites, sort of, or the way it kind
Vaporizes
of
a
vaporizes, but
liquid.
you're not getting the burn.
Yeah.
And I also failed to mention one of the reasons that when you take a hit off a pipe or a joint is that you're getting butane fumes that are also because of the lighter that you're using. So another reason not to hold the butane in your lungs.
Yeah, it's
as
probably a
long as
bad
possible.
chemical to have. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so vapes are ignited liquid, right? So that's where you're at.
That's right.
Okay, now what? Give me more. Give me what's the difference between that and the dab pen?
That is a good question. I don't know that I wrote that down.
Let me see if I can help. I think dab pens are actually THC oils, not liquids. Like, so they're a thicker oil.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I know when I was reading about it, basically that it's the vehicle by which THC is in there. So oil is on one.
And I don't know this by practical purpose, but I've heard anecdotally that if you smoked a long time ago, let's say like I'm in my upper 40s, mid 40s, so somewhere between mid and upper 40s for those of you calculating at home. If you smoked in high school, you always had joints or whatever, and it was always warm and like smoking cigarettes, right? And so when the new age, you can't just convert over to the new age stuff. Like you can't just go hit a dab pen because it doesn't feel the same as what you used to
translate.
Like, your muscle memory.
One for one.
Muscle memory tells you should feel something warm, and it should be like all this smoke in your lungs, and you know when to stop and you know when to breathe out. And vapes and dabs don't have that same thing. So you end up like, sucking a golf ball through a garden hose going, I can't feel anything. And it's because it's so smooth and cool versus what you used to. So
that primitive Stone Age way you used to smoke.
That'll catch up with you quick. Not that I know by personal experience, but I have heard or seen it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So what I want to do is have a little fun. Now, I gave you a couple of the, I think, items in the universe that people associate with 420. I'm going to do, so I gave you a couple to kind of get you going, but I think right now, let's do a bit of a rapid fire on what makes a person, or what is a lifestyle. Give me some characteristics of the 420 lifestyle.
Okay.
I already got you started in that a stoner is, lazy and ate up.
Yeah. Sponsored by Doritos. Always has snacks.
Always has snacks. Bing, I got that one.
Sweet. Are you
I'm
need
taking
my
your
pen?
pen.
All right, great. So
I put always has snacks and or eating Taco Bell.
right, perfect.
Munchies.
420 people as of today, like this generation of
Whatever you associate with the lifestyle of 420, I got like 10 of them.
I'm gonna go with Grateful Dead CDs in some way, shape, or form, possibly Dave Matthews or possibly Fish.
Boom.
Any of those things.
I put listen to Grateful Dead, Fish, or Bob Marley.
Oh, I could 100%. Bob Marley was it in college, right? Everybody had a little bit of reggae going on.
That's
And you're
right.
like, that's the only time I hear reggae.
That's why I played reggae for
it's beautiful. Have a specific type of car or vehicle choice, whether that be VW Bug, potentially a Subaru or something like.
I did not have that one, but I'll give that one to
All
you.
right, great.
Because we did, the VW van is sort of the staple of the shows.
Yeah.
All right, next.
So can I take one from the listeners?
Yeah.
Repeats themselves a lot. Somebody who tells stories repeats themselves over and over again. Can you give me that?
I don't have that one specific because I think that also applies to alcohol and people that are drunk. But it's, the person that put that, I agree. And they might tell the same fun story, which makes it so that hopefully both of you are on the same plane of existence because then you can handle it.
People who get real cerebral. And by that, I mean, just they get all up in the deep, like their super deep thought, kind of like, that's not on their
No,
either,
that's
is
good.
it?
Yeah. Cerebral. I'll take that. That's not on my list.
Okay.
I'll give you one too. Pot plants on all their belongings.
Oh yeah. Lots of branding.
Branding.
Marijuana
exactly.
branding.
Or 420
Yeah.
listed specifically.
Okay.
Wears lots of tie-dye.
God, how did I not get tie dye out of that? That's dumb. Sorry, that's all. That's my bad.
Again, that's maybe a stereotype. Probably not as much anymore with the proliferation.
But I do
And
think
so. It's becoming more mainstream. You're not seeing that.
the people that are our age are a little bit older that grew up like that. It's always been illegal, but that it's always part of the hippie generation or fun generation or Grateful Dead era when they were going to concerts. Still are wearing tie dye and like
Oh, yeah.
50,
I've
40,
seen it.
53 years old. You're like you see a 50-year-old in tie dye. You go, that dude's been smoking dope since he was 16, right? Like, you know for a fact.
All right. Plays hacky sack.
Oh my God, hacky sack. Yes, that's a good one. Do I have to eat a bear?
No, not for every one of these.
Thank God.
All right. How about constantly uses eye drops?
I don't ever remember that. Is that really a thing?
Yeah, you know, people using Visine. You get your eyes get red.
Yeah. Okay, I buy that.
Maybe that was just where I was because people then went to class and they didn't want either their parents or their teachers knowing that they were high as a kite.
Hold on, is frisbee golf on this list? Please say.
There you go.
Frisbee golf should be. That was in our chat too.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Frisbee golf's a winner. Thank you, whoever put that in the chat.
Frisbee golf or skateboarding, snowboarding, that kind of thing.
Skateboarding, I'd probably say less of, but maybe. Frisbee, hacky sack, and frisbee golf.
All right.
Or I would say that definitely. Only have enough money for their next bag, but somehow own a large collection of pipes, dab, vape pens, and bongs.
Right. They have more mechanisms to get it in their body, but don't have anything. Like they buy it by the $10 sack. Right. You're
Right.
like, what the hell?
I got to scrape together enough for a nickel bag.
Right.
That's probably old school
But
terminology.
what bong do you want to use? Like I got 9 bongs we could use.
I got these 8 pieces of glass.
Right. They all fit together. It's like an octopus bong. You're like,
All right. And the last one that I have is you draw out all your vowels. Dude.
all right.
Bro.
Yeah,
maybe.
slow down speech and just generally, I think. Yeah, but I can buy the specificity of vowels.
All right. Well, cool. We definitely have some more fact or fiction items to get to.
You want to break and do?
Yeah. So tell me how the gummies tasting.
So far, they're hitting hard, but I've only had a few.
Now it does take about 15
Yeah, 30,
to
I was gonna say 30 minutes.
45 minutes.
I'm gonna be on your floor asleep.
Exactly. So I think we timed that out really well. That our show will end and you will be high as a kite.
The show will end, and so will I. Just both in. All right.
All
So
right.
it's yours. So you start it.
Let's talk about Goodwood. So
Yeah.
I've been partaking here, and the good news is that this is way better than the hemp infused beer that we had tried on another episode that never aired. That tasted like straight marijuana.
It's
juice.
like you filled a bag
Bong
of-
water.
Yeah, filled a bag of dope, and then just put a straw in it. Like it was horrible.
Yeah.
This is just Gose beer.
So in my freshman year of college, I had a friend, and they were outside of the dorms, and that made for a good friendship, right? Because you could go down and hang out with them, and it was a dry campus too, so you could drink and then partake in different things. And this particular person ended up having this bag of, I would call maybe leftovers.
Seeds and stems.
It was more than that. It seemed leafy, but not bud, right?
Right.
And so I'm not really sure where they got it, but there was probably a residual of stuff in there. And they got the great idea. They're like, hey, let's put this to good use. We're going to make pot brownies because everyone's heard of pot brownies. I mean, even back then, we're like, hey.
Back then, you were such a good cook too.
Right. And so they got all the ingredients for the pot brownies, and then they got this frying pan and stuff, and they got this, and they started to put it in there.
They got a frying pan.
They did enough research because we didn't have internet in our hands back then, right?
Yeah.
Like, so we had to do
A stone tablet, that thing. Yeah, I'm with you.
right. Yeah. So they put I think they put it in a little oil because they were going to use the oil, in the brownie. So they put it in there, and they were trying to do this. It smelled pretty horrific, as it heated up, and then they baked it into these brownies, not removing, not fully straining, because they thought, I don't know that I did this absolutely correct, so I'm not going to strain everything out of here.
Just put yard clippings
Right.
in the brownies with it.
So takes that out, it was the most horrible brownie taste ever. Tasted like you're just straight up eating plants that you pulled out of the ground.
Yeah. I can
That is
imagine.
what that first beer that we had tasted like.
My God, that was a long way around to get to that.
But I wanted to tell a fun story. If you have
appreciate
any
the
of your
context.
younger stories about some of the experiments, feel free to chime in. This is way better. I'm going to go with a 2. I'm going to finish this. It has a good little citrusy taste in it, that lemon peel. I don't even know what coriander is.
Coriander?
Coriander. I should have looked that
It's
up.
a spice, right?
Sure.
Okay, great.
But I taste that citrus in there. And so it has a little bit of a sour feel, or citrusy. It's light, but it's not something that I would drink a lot of.
Okay.
I don't really taste anything hempy.
That's funny. So the last
That I
drink I just tasted, I'm like, I need to be able to pick out flavors, and there's a little tiny bit of hemp in there.
Oh,
There's a little
Oh, yeah.
There's a little twang of what pot smells like, but it's very small.
It is.
The rest of this tastes like any other Gose beer we've drank. It has that bitter, like that almost soury taste on it. So it's not, you're right. That one we drank for the lost episode, man, was that a bad one.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was hard to get 2 drinks in, and we were like, oh Lord, what is this? It was bad. I'm 100% at a 2 on this one. I'm like, I'm going to finish it. I will not go seek out, but I also don't like, it has nothing to do with the hemp. It has everything to do with this style of beer. It's just a very sour, kind of a little bit sour on your tongue, right? And I kind of like something with a little bit more flavor that doesn't make your tongue pucker like that.
And they must be making a lot less of these styles of beers. I don't know. I think when everything was CBD for a minute there, CBD is in every shop. They were making CBD beers. And I'm like, oh, 420's coming up. We're going to have this show. Yep. And I was looking around, couldn't really find any now. I mean, 2 years ago,
they were everywhere.
They were everywhere. And I'm like, where did all these
you can
go?
Get real pop beer now, right?
I'm sure you can.
Yep, I think so.
I don't know where to get that, but maybe probably dispensary. Obviously, I mean, it's
we did have somebody ask about your shirt. Do you have any before we move? Do you have any explanation for why we're doing Mickey Mouse?
Just a standing in solidarity, baby.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm pro Disney. If you've listened to any of our last episodes and
watched
some of the stuff going on, the fight that Disney's having right now,
yeah,
I'm in Disney's corner. All right.
Awesome.
And I happened to see it on the rack, and it wasn't expensive, and I'm like, this is happening. All right.
All right. I think I need a gummy. This one looks greeny.
The smoking. Oh, I already did that one. Can you get a contact high or feel similar effects from secondhand smoke? Again, think back to when you were young and you were maybe standing in a circle or somewhere at an event and somebody's smoking and you're like, oh, I can get contact high. Is that a thing? Fact or fiction?
We're back to fact or fiction. So I think since it's a thing with cigarettes, I'm going to go with, I felt like it's a thing for marijuana as well. There's no way that you can extrapolate all of the THC before you blow out. So I'm going to go with, there's still some THC in that smoke that if you inhale it, you get some.
There you go.
Yes. Look at me rationalize my way through it.
And thank goodness, because you've been really pounding some of those gummies. I'm actually feeling for your safety. I hope you get the rest of these correct.
How many THC ones did you put in there? Just 3?
All the red and orange.
Okay, well, I only eat the green and yellow, so that's good news. All right.
I don't really remember how many are in there.
Okay, great.
Yes, you can feel similar effects from secondhand smoke. Excellent with the cigarette, because it's the same concept. Whereas they tell you can get cancer from secondhand cigarette smoke, you can get a contact high. That is a thing. Especially true if you lock yourself in a car, or you get in a car and you roll up all the windows, and then you smoke a joint in the car, never rolling down the window.
So really,
I believe that you can do that without even smoking. It's just your friends.
Just light it and let it burn while you all partake in it together.
Right.
Hotbox it.
Yeah,
Is that what that is?
I've heard.
Am I wrong? No, that's called something else. Hotboxing is when you suck it in and blow it into somebody else's mouth.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think that's
What is it?
But which is secondhand.
Yeah, but
right. That's
still,
a contact high.
freaking. There's a name for that when you sit in a car and just toke up. And
But I think that's it too. I think
Okay.
they called it the same thing when you would
right.
sit in a car or any enclosed space, right? And you try to get,
enough.
confine yourself in it. Yeah. The more you smoke, the more the possibility. All right. Is there such a thing as weedicate?
yes. Yes, true.
You're starting to answer quicker. And
These gummies are
right, you're
enhancing
not
my
lazy at all.
They're enhancing my performance.
Yes. What are some weedicate things that you know of?
The only one that I've already used it in the chat, and I already said it out loud, and somebody used it in the chat is puff pass.
You did. That was
Right?
an excellent one.
So that's weedicate.
That is weedicate. Have you ever heard if you roll it, you light it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good weedicate
You
one.
get to start the one that you roll. So that you always pass to your left. Always
Because it's
pass to your
a
left.
left-handed cigarette. It always goes. It always goes left, right?
I didn't remember this one specifically, but when I was looking up, and I actually did Google this and go, hey, what are more? Because I put down what I knew.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, you can't ever light up with people around you and not offer them.
Yeah, you have to
That
offer.
seems like a thing.
That's a thing.
Which is funny because we don't really do that with beers per se. You just might be drinking a beer and you don't go, hey, do you want some of this beer that I'm drinking right out of this can?
Right. Yeah. Just take a sip. It's good.
Right.
Yeah. But with it, yeah, you go here. I just sucked all over this thing. Here, you want some of that?
So that is the next weed kit I put down is smoke it, don't suck it.
Right.
No one wants a slobbery end
Yeah. No.
of a joint
no.
or a marijuana cigarette.
As the kids call it.
Right. Because just smoke that thing, purse your lips nice and tight, get what you need, and move on.
Do not.
If there's
lick all
slobber
over it.
on that,
Yep,
you have
gross.
broken weedicate. So I put that one on there.
Nice.
I didn't know the pass to the left, but when I looked it up to go, hey, what don't I know? It was like always pass to the left. Don't hog it.
Yeah.
One hit per pass.
Puff pass.
Puff, puff, pass. But that applies to also bongs.
Yeah.
Take one,
Yep.
don't
Move. Let it move.
Keep it going. And then this one, in the site that I was looking at said, don't blow smoke in someone's face unless they ask for it. Boxing. But I guess if you take a hit and you're trying to hold it in and
And
for a long period of time
Don't
and you
cough
look
and
at
choke
someone,
it out at somebody's face. That's horrible.
you're just going to spread colds and flu symptoms,
Yeah.
my friends.
All right. Good. Is that all the weed kits you got?
Yes.
Awesome.
Are the munchies real?
Do you need one of these red and green ones before we go on?
I feel like I couldn't talk while eating a gummy. You're doing a fantastic
right,
job because are the munchies real?
Do you see me eating the hell out of these?
I do.
All right then. Yes.
Munchies are real. In a paper published in the Journal of Nature Neuroscience,
It's the only journal I read.
cannabis tricks your brain into thinking you're starving even when you're full. The study finds that THC flips a switch in the hypothalamus.
Yep.
Hypothalamus. Instead of producing the chemical that signals
kind of
you're
thalamus?
full, suddenly neurons start telling you that you're hungry.
Yeah.
And it enhances your sense of smell and your sense of taste.
So everything
So
tastes and smells better.
everything tastes and smells better. Taco Bell becomes the greatest thing you've ever put in your mouth.
Everything becomes the greatest thing ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Snickers
Buy
and
that.
Pepsi together.
Perfect.
That may have been
Best
a thing
combination
that
Yeah.
I used
Have
to
heard about?
enjoy.
Oh.
Sweet. It's like a sweet and salty and something going on there. Basically, CBD, on the other hand, this is what I wanted to get to. CBD is the opposite. It suppresses your appetite. So those folks that are out there that are wanting to get the high effects of cannabis, when they have a higher THC, gives them the munchies. If you're out there having the more medical grade or the more high CBD levels,
Suppresses
suppresses it, and you can turn off the
so-
I'm hungry.
Now that we have edibles available to everybody in the world, apparently, so now you can get blended CBDs and THCs. Can you just get 50-50 and they cancel themselves out?
Yes. I don't know. Or you're just in a fight with yourself. I'm
Right.
hungry. No, I'm really
not.
full. No, I'm hungry.
Everything smells good, but it tastes horrible.
Right.
Like, all right.
I want to order Arby's. No, I
I
don't.
don't really want that.
Pizza. Oh, no. All right. So you got that one correct.
Okay, me.
Does wearing an article of clothing with the marijuana plant on it allow you to get higher than when ingesting without that clothing?
Duh. Absolutely yes.
Fact or fiction?
100% fact. If you're not wearing marijuana brand, you're not getting high. What?
Well, they still want to woo that. Thank you, audience.
It doesn't help?
It doesn't help.
All right.
And the more that you are wearing, it doesn't. But I just threw that one in there
So
for
you
fun.
can't clothing brand yourself into high?
Right. And no one actually did a study on it. So I
So it
figured
could. What you're saying is you have zero scientific
that
proof.
is true, my friend.
I just
So
wanna
if
make
you
sure
have
to pull that out.
personal experiment knowledge, please let us know. Are there any memory issues from smoking? Can you be ate up?
I don't remember. I think, yeah. I don't know. I feel like yes. I'm going to go with yes. But, all right, sweet.
All right. So, current evidence shows that THC may temporarily alter or distort short-term memory processing. This is because marijuana's main psychoactive chemical, THC, causes an effect by attaching to the receptors in the brain regions that are vital for memory formation, including the hippocampus, the amygdala,
Medulla oblongata.
very close to that, and the cerebral cortex.
Gotcha.
Frequent use does not allow the brain to return to its normal state. So if you're one of those people that wakes up and does the so-called wake and bake,
Yep.
and then proceeds to use throughout the day, you're not giving your brain enough time to recoup its memory functions. So it will, in fact, cause that memory issues potentially. But it did say it's not necessarily permanent. And if you just stop,
You give your brain time to recoup it.
Yeah, and you'll return to sort of normal because it's really just attaching to those receptors. And once it's not attaching to those receptors, then it figures out what to do. All right. So, and CBD, by the way, counter effects. Again, CBD, like a suppressed appetite, CBD counteracts the effect of THC on memory. It actually enhances your memory and has been used to treat diseases that affect memory, like Alzheimer's, Huntington's.
So you can wake and bake in the morning.
And epilepsy.
Wake and bake in the morning, CBD gummy at noon. Wake and bake or bake in the afternoon, and then CBD gummy before you go to bed. And your brain's basically gone through 2 cycles already. You're good.
Yeah. You won't know whether to eat, and you won't remember whether you're hungry or not.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
So,
all right.
Those were our fact or fiction.
Yeah.
And so we got a little bit of time left. And if you have any stories, by the way, of anything you particularly wanted to throw in there, I did allot some time for that. But do you have any?
I've thrown in my stories that I feel comfortable adding into this podcast.
Right on.
In the experiments scientifically that I've run in my life, yeah. I will say that since it is legal, if you partake, be careful with it.
Yeah.
Because things these days get laced with stuff. So always just know what.
Well,
know
if you
where
go
it's
to
coming from.
dispensaries, hopefully
Get it from a reputable place.
Yeah, get it from and then hopefully you're covered there. And always use responsibly. Don't use while in the car, while driving, while operating heavy machinery. Do all that stuff.
We're gonna have to shut the chat down if the stories start happening. But
all right, so. We're going to end this on a fun game. People in the chat can play along, have fun with this. What hit me about this particular game was I felt like when you are perhaps in a high state of mind, you may say things that don't necessarily make sense. So they may be gibberish, but maybe they make sense to you. So this is sort of the idea of this game. We're going to do, I used to call this mad gab, but apparently it's
called incoherent.
It's incoherent. So hopefully you have a little bit of fun with this. We'll give you some time to think if you can hear what we're being said. But we're going to say a normal couple of words.
Yep. So hike and Eve hen. Hike and Eve hen.
So I'm going to go with I can't even.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good example.
See, I had to really concentrate while your high brain was saying that. Per rake T inner Ned. Per rake T inner Ned.
Different enunciation, different syllable.
Per rake T inner Ned.
Break the internet?
There you go. Excellent.
Nice. Hey, there's con a Hade. Hey, there's con a Hade.
Hey there. My
Hey, there's.
car has hay.
Hey, there's con a Hade.
Hey there, kinda hi, Hade. I don't know.
Hey, there's con a Hade is haters gonna hate.
Oh, haters gonna hate.
I don't know that I was, yeah.
All right, next one here. Hopefully you guys are getting these at home. Tad SWAT Cheesehead. Tad SWAT Cheesehead.
Wait, what?
Boom. Roasted.
Tad SWAT Cheesehead.
That's what she said. Thank God for the hint. Okay, this one makes me so super happy. I can't even tell you. So, Pfeift holler food lawn. Pfeift holler food lawn.
Get off my lawn.
No, Pfeift holler food lawn.
$5 food lawn.
So awesome.
I don't know. Should I?
You should. Well, people online probably going to know it. I hope they know it. It's $5 foot long.
Oh, $5 foot long.
$5 foot long.
All right. For here roar took o.
By the way, the chat got $5 foot long.
Nice. For here roar took o.
For here roar took o.
If you went to Taco Bell and you went in and ordered, they might ask you this.
For here to go.
Exactly.
Oh,
Nice.
I should be giving hints like you are. Ham a sauna let's Ham a
You're high, man.
ham a sauna let's
All right. Hold it up so I can see it. Ham a sauna let's Ham a sauna let's I am not doing very well at this game.
All right, so
I should be eating a bunch of those with you. Those
yeah, you
gummy
should.
bears.
If you had more of these bears, you'd been fine. Think of giving it a command. You're not going to have this in your house. You would have Siri, but this is more.
Oh, Alexa?
Amazon Alexa.
Ham
Hamasana. Yeah, that's it. Hamasana Alexa. Good.
quit came.
The Squid Games.
There, you are killing it.
I usually have to have a hint.
You should be a translator for
high people
that are high.
Yeah, who draw out all their vowels.
Exactly.
Burr oat teen pout her.
Protein powder.
Yep.
I got one. Thank goodness. Oh,
All right. Yeah, nice work.
we can do a couple more.
What? All right.
And then see if anybody in the chat has any questions, burning questions they want us to ask. We do have a little bit of time left.
Yep.
So if you have any questions that you want us to answer in the chat, we will section off a little bit of time for that because we have some time.
We have a person in chat who may have it tied at $5 footlongs. That makes me laugh. Sorry, I just saw it. Det huge us fard. Det huge us fard. Seriously, det you us fard.
All right, show me the words. Det huge us fard.
Oh my God, that smells.
Det huge us fard.
That smells so bad. Det Jude us fard.
That huge us fard. Oh, I just want to say that huge blank fart.
Yeah. Did you just fart?
That was close.
All right.
I put ass in there. That huge ass fart is what I was thinking. All right. You want to do what? Two more?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hit me.
All right. Hints to Crams Starry. Hints.
Instagram story.
You are on fire, my friend.
Crushing it. You need more of these gummies.
All right.
Or was it me?
Yeah, last one.
Did you just Hud yoke Hud yoke
Hudyoka. Hud Yoka.
Hud Yoka.
Yeah, Hud Yoka. Because Hud Yoka sounds just like
Sounds just like what? Like an activity.
Hud Yoka.
Like an activity. you
Am I
do
not
with
saying
hop-
it? Hud Yoka?
Yeah, Hud Yoka.
Give me a hint.
It's an activity you would do with really tight pants on.
Really tight pants.
In a extremely warm place.
On the beach with tight pants.
Not on the beach. In a room with
Oh, hot yoga.
hot yoga.
Woo. Oh, man. That was not fast enough. Not fast enough. All right.
The gummies were an enhancer. I can tell you that right now.
Excellent.
So cool.
Yeah, I mean, we got just a few minutes left in this. Is there anything I should, I teed it up for anybody in the chat that wants to ask any kind of questions.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to the 420? Anything you may have heard of that I may have missed?
No, just that it's interesting in our time of life that it's gone from completely illegal everywhere to almost completely legal in fairly legal in most places, right? Just an interesting time of we've lived through an interesting generation of things that have gone from, no technology to technology, completely illegal to completely legal. It's just interesting world that we live in, and that you can now just go to a store and go, yeah, I'd like to have, an ounce of pot. And people are like, here you go. That's the weirdest thing for me. Yeah. And so enjoy responsibly. Don't be stupid. But yeah, I think it's fun. I love that we live in a country that we actually can have legalized stuff that you go, this is up to you as a free American, go express your freedom. And I shouldn't have total control over everything that you consume in your world and how you treat your mind and body. That's your choice. Have a good time. Although we don't have that everywhere with everything. True. But there's some things that you go, I'm going to celebrate this one. I can bitch about everything else, but I'm going to celebrate this. So.
Yeah. And to your point, I think we've made mention on a couple of different topics that we feel that it takes a while for change to happen. Yeah. It can be generational depending, on what it is. And it seems like drugs got a really bad name at a certain place, and it was sort of political, right? I think Nixon really was like the first person to be like, drugs are a no-no, right? And made it, I think, wasn't under him that he made it what it is, that class A or whatever. Yeah. And then it was like, and then
Nancy Reagan.
And it was like the war on drugs. And then Nancy Reagan said,
say no.
Just say no.
Yep.
The other hat that I almost bought said, just say maybe to drugs, There were a few good ones out there, but it's hard to buy a hat for me because I have such a big head. So hopefully you saw this funness that I was wearing, even though I probably stretched it out pretty good.
It's a one-time use hat, isn't it? Yeah. Are you wearing that out at all?
All the time. I'm going to wear it on my meetings at work that are video meetings.
100% wear that on video conference.
Who just joined? It's Andrew, bro.
Like, bro.
And
bro,
is everybody?
Can you hear me?
Let me just hold on. Let me get off.
Yeah. Bubble, you make that gurgle noise from.
Yeah, it's legal where I'm at, man. Isn't it okay if I smoke at work, even because it's legal in my state?
Yeah, I still worry about that.
So,
I don't partake. I mean, I was around it a couple weekends ago, and they have all this new stuff that people are. So here's my story. You wanted a story. Just when you don't live that lifestyle or have that out seeking that, you don't realize the innovations that have come around. So something like I was around a guy, went down to visit a friend, and he pulled out a joint, but it is literally an inch long. And they make single-use joints now.
No puff pass.
No, you don't have to roll. It's
puff,
it's
done.
like manufactured. And he's like, yeah, this is like a 4-hitter. Basically, it's like I take 2 puffs, I kind of put it out a little bit, and I'll take 2 puffs later, and it's so strong. He's like, it's strong enough now. I just all I need is 2 puffs now, and in about an hour, I'll probably take 2 more puffs, and I'll be incoherent. Right. And he was literally both nights I was hanging out with him, incoherent. After 4 puffs of this, it was the tiny little micro joint thing that he had. And I'm like, I've never seen that. And he goes, yeah, it's just he's like, act like I was stupid. Maybe I am. I'm stupid about this crap. But he's like, yeah, they just it's just single use. It's like single use joints. You don't have to roll a whole joint. You just have this one little, it's like an individually wrapped whatever. And I'm like, huh, who knew? It's a tiny little thing. So kind of funny to be around it and go, like I care too much about passing drug tests at work. So
Yeah.
I have that
I
hang
like
up right
you.
now.
I may, when I retire,
Yeah.
be like just smoking it up wherever, and having a great time with it. But I, like you, it's like
There's a
man,
risk
it's
involved
huge,
still.
huge potential risk. But yeah. So if you want to anybody have anything fun to say before we sign off?
No, but we had I'm glad we had the people we had on, and like the chat went crazy. I couldn't answer a lot of it, but I did try to steal from a lot of it. I know we mispronounced you mispronouncing medulla oblongata or whatever that was, and I just mispronounced it again, so we're gonna get made fun of for a second time on that. I don't know. I just super appreciate people, joining us live, because that's a time on them, and
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing time with us, because it's been fun. We have fun doing this, and
Yes.
I'm glad somebody join in and participate with us. It makes it more fun for us as well.
Yeah, it feels like we're hanging out in a circle, Nick, in a smoke circle. We bring everybody together. Really love when we can do the live shows. We talk about it often and go like how should we continue doing these, and knowing that people have to tune in, but I think it's a lot of fun, like you said, and great back and forth in the chats. Hopefully now that we have the little chat box in the window, that'll be good, so you can see that after the fact. But thanks again, as always, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Hope you had as much fun in our circle.
Yeah. Goodwood, man.
Goodwood. All right.
Thanks
you. Oh. Buttons don't work when you smoky.
I need more of these gummies.
The stash is gone. The tacos and Snickers have been eaten. Take a hint. It's time for you to leave the smoke circle.